Welcome to today's episode, where we dive into the fascinating world of education and how it varies across different countries. Joining me are Nikki, our dedicated volunteer editor, and Hans, who brings his unique insights to the discussion. Together, we embark on a journey to break barriers and explore the diverse realities of learning around the world.
Hello everyone and welcome to Changemakers Breaking News, our monthly podcast where we dive into the lives and experiences of our incredible volunteers who come from all over the world to Villanueva and the MMN Foundation. Join us as we share their stories, challenges, and the impact they make in our community. My name is Hans Garzón, and today we're joined by Nikki, who's been a tremendous help over the last couple of weeks in improving our students' writing skills. So, hello, Nikki.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, I'm doing alright.
Great. I would like you to tell us a bit more about yourself. You know, who you are, where are you from, what do you do back at home, and just any details you would like to share with us.
Sure, yeah. So I'm Nikki. I'm 33 years old. I'm from the UK. I live in a little town called Ascot, which is about an hour outside London by train. For work, I was working as an editor in a book publisher in London.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that was very cool. And as you said, doing and practicing writing skills with the students here. It's been really cool and kind of a fun way to use my publishing knowledge and apply it to something different. So
Okay, that's great. That's amazing. And you know, Nikki, I have to admit that I'm very curious about what inspired you to come to Colombia, especially to Villanueva, and as your destination for volunteering.
Well, Colombia, I'd heard so many great things about Colombia. I'd met a lot of other backpackers who had been here and just raved about it. They really thought the people were friendly, that the food was incredible, the scenery was beautiful, so I knew I had to come. And so I decided I'd be here for at least 2 months. And I then decided I'd like to spend at least a month of that volunteering at a school teaching English. I never taught anything before, really, so it was all brand new.
It was a challenge, yeah.
And I found this opportunity on Workaway and reached out to Anna, and it went from there.
Oh, that's amazing. That sounds amazing. And have you been to Colombia before, or it was your first time here?
Yeah, first time in Colombia and first time in South America, so it's all quite new. Yeah, I'd just come from Guatemala. I'd also been in Mexico for a month, so I was practicing my Spanish, and I wanted to continue doing that here. But yeah, it's all pretty new to me.
Oh, that's great. That's lovely. And what about the food, the people, the landscape? What has been your favorite part about your whole stay here?
Definitely the people. It's been such a joy getting to know all the students, the staff, the families, the other volunteers as well. We've had a few other Brits here as well. We've had Georgia and Linda, and then we of course had Elizabeth here, so it was really nice getting to know them as well. But just getting to know everyone here and what life is like in Colombia, what the traditional foods are, and kind of getting to grips with what the kind of feel and culture of the country is. So that's been a gift.
That's great. And you know, Nikki, every volunteer that comes here is unique, and each one of them has something unique to teach to our students. So I would like you to share what was your role here with our children?
Yeah, so it was super varied what I was doing here. So I was literally teaching students from A1 level all the way up to C2. So for some of the younger students, I was teaching them how to say manzana in English. Other students, I was teaching them about the past tense and how to use it when they were writing stories. And then for the more advanced students, I was helping them specifically with their writing skills. And helping to hopefully expand their vocabulary and improve their sentence structure and the way they approach kind of exam questions. And just helping in that regard, using my previous experience as an editor to make little adjustments.
Oh, that sounds amazing. You were really a great help. Both the students
you.
and the teachers are beyond grateful for all the work you did here with our children. It's been amazing, and we cannot deny that everything that you've taught us, it's very valuable. And I just also want to know what about your experience in our Casa Nicola. I know you've been there, so how was it like teaching the Venezuelan children?
It was such a joy. I loved those kids. They were so sweet. Nowhere else do I get to walk into a room and have a dozen kids just immediately come up and hug me. So that was so sweet. And they were always so excited to see me and excited for our lessons together. I really tried to make those lessons fun for them as well, because a lot of them were just starting out on their English learning journey. So
that's a bit hard.
Yeah, so it was just introducing, new vocabulary for them, and finding fun ways to do that. So sometimes we would, have flashcards and play games with those. We played Snap, we played Hangman, we played everything you can think of, just because I wanted it to be engaging for them, and they seemed to really enjoy that. So that was really great fun. They're such wonderful kids, and I think what M&M is doing for them is super important as well, and giving them a shot at an education that they wouldn't have had otherwise.
Yeah.
So, it was great.
Absolutely. Okay. I want to thank you for that, because it's an amazing job that you do. And I also heard about your work at our Cristales campus. So how was it?
Yeah, they were really sweet kids as well. I would get the bus with them every morning, and they'd all want to sit next to me and ask me questions about life in the UK. The main question was whether it snowed in the UK, and it does. Not loads, but we do get some, but I guess you guys don't get very much here.
No, not really.
So they were always, again, like super excited to see me. The classes I had there, I'd have a couple of classes in the morning, and those similar to the Niccolo level, like kind of like A1, A2 English. So it was a lot of it was about focusing on expanding vocabulary and introducing new words in a fun way that they would find interesting. And they were so engaged. They loved it. They loved learning. They were really focused. I think they wanted to get really good grades. I think that was part of it. They were very interested in what grade they got afterwards. But it worked, so that was great. And then the next couple of classes would be with some of the kids who are a bit higher level, probably more like B1, and they were writing stories, and I wanted to help them do that. So we were again focusing on expanding vocab, writing in the past tense, and kind of trying to fix their own errors and spot where those corrections are needed. So, and that was really fun, and we play a few games with that as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, Nikki, based on your experience, what would you say is the biggest difference between the education in the UK and in Colombia? Yeah,
so the education system is obviously vastly different. And speaking from my own experience, I went to a public school in the UK where there was hundreds of other kids at my school, classes of at least 30.
Wow.
So it was kind of crazy. And the school system in the UK works in a way that when you're studying, when you start working towards your GCSEs I think when you're like 12 or 13, and then you do your GCSEs when you're 16, and then you start towards your A levels, which then contribute to your university, like getting into university. So I know there's a different school system in Colombia, so that's a bit different. But the main differences I found in particular with M&M compared to my experience at school was how much you focus on language learning and how effective that is as well, because when I was doing language learning at school, I did a bit of Spanish, but not nearly enough. there was no way you were acquiring the language that way. Whereas
I
here,
understand,
I
yeah.
can see the progress of the kids. I can see them get better and better,
Yeah, that's a lot of
and
focus.
that want to improve as well. I also just love the ambition and the motivation of a lot of the kids here. You would be hard pressed to find a 15-year-old in the UK who knows what they want to do in the future. But here, a lot of the kids I talk to want to be lawyers, they want to be engineers, they want to be economists, like they know and they want to do big things to change the world. So I think you wouldn't find that in the UK, which I think is really interesting. So obviously the education here at M&M is very inspiring for them and makes them want to learn more.
Well, Nikki, on behalf of everyone here at M&M, I want to give you our most sincere thanks for all the work you've done here. We know that all the knowledge that you'll pass on to the students and to our will be very valuable right now and in the future. And I'm curious, will you be visiting other parts of Colombia after leaving Vienna?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah?
So today is actually my last day
that's so
at the school. Tomorrow I go to Bogota, and then after that I want to go to Medellin. I want to go to Cartagena. I want to see Santa Marta as well. So I'm gonna have a bit of an explore. For sure.
I'm very happy that you really want to explore other parts of Colombia.
Yeah, definitely.
That's very lovely. And after leaving Colombia, what plans do you have?
Yeah, so I'll probably head to Peru after Colombia, so that's going to be really fun. I want
another incredible
I know,
experience.
exactly. Hopefully to keep practicing my Spanish. And then I will probably head home after that. That won't be till June though, so I've got a few months left.
Yeah. Okay, I hope you really enjoy that.
Thank you.
And Nikki, could you please share a final message of encouragement for our students?
Yeah, sure, yeah. So many of the students here have amazing English, but I also see students who are on that language learning journey and they find it hard. I find it hard. I'm learning Spanish.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. There's a lot about these languages that don't have logic and things are just the way they are for no apparent reason. So my kind of mantra that I always use, while I've been learning Spanish, I've been using is poco a poco. I just love it because language acquisition is such a slow process, and you can't expect to be able to speak a new language really quickly. It really is little by little. So I just want to kind of encourage students to keep going with it, even though it's frustrating, even when it's really, really hard and it doesn't make sense, because you will get there in the end. It's just one little step at a time.
That's a beautiful message. Thank you so much. And thank you so much again, Nikki, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to have you today, to have you here at M&M. We always do safe return home, and we hope that you really enjoy the rest of your holidays.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Hans.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in and exploring the world of education with us. A special thanks to Nikki for their amazing work and dedication. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep breaking barriers.